Number word problems. When you're solving a number word problem or any problem, it's important to convert the words to mathematical symbols. A sentence in English can be rewritten as a mathematical sentence using equals as the verb. In the first example that we have up here, it says 4 times a number plus 8 is 28. Find the number. The first thing you want to do is identify what it is you're trying to find. As in any problem, it says find the number. So the number is the thing I'm trying to find. I'm going to let n be my variable that represents the number. This is an easy problem to do because you can directly translate it from English words to mathematical symbols. The first thing says 4 times a number. If you imagine writing that in mathematical symbols, we only have to say 4 times n, which is the variable that I've chosen to represent my number. 4 times a number. The word plus is a word you've known for a long time. It's an easy symbol. We'll just put the plus symbol in. Plus 8. So I have 4 times the number plus 8. This is an important word. The word is the verb in the sentence, and the verb in the math sentence is the verb equals. There are many verbs that in English that mean equals. Amounts to, is the same as, totals. All are verbs that mean equals. In this case, is the verb that matches equals in the math sentence. And it is 28. So 4 times a number plus 8 is 28. So I translated all these words down into some nice mathematical symbols. I want to solve this equation using the steps that I know to do. I'll have 4 times the number plus 8. I know when something is added to a variable, I need to subtract it to remove it from the side of the equation that contains the variable. On the right-hand side, I'll have 28, and I know I need to put minus 8 there as well, because whatever I do to the left-hand side of the equation, I need to do to the right-hand side of the equation. On the left, I'll have 4n, because 8 minus 8 is 0, equals 28 minus 8, or 20. And when I divide both sides by 4, I'll get n, when these cancel, equals 5. Now instead of checking this as a mathematical check, let's put it back into the sense of the problem and see if we can come up with the answer that we desire. 4 times a number plus 8. If our number is 5, 4 times the number would mean 4 times 5. So 4 times the number would be 4 times 5. Plus 8. If I check this, 4 times that number would be 20, plus 8 would be 28. And that's the number it was supposed to turn out to be. In the second equation, or second problem, we're going to have a little tiny bit more difficult time with it, but we just need to think clearly. It says 25 less than 4 times the number totals 15. Find the number. The first thing I want to do is see what is it I'm trying to find? Well, I'm trying to find the number, and I'll let n be my variable that represents the number once again. Now it says 25 less than 4 times the number, and this can be kind of a tricky word. But let's think of some examples. If we wanted to find 25 less than 100, you know that would be 75. That's because 100 minus 25 is 75. If you wanted to find 100 less than 300, you'd have 300 minus 100. That would be 200. 100 less than 300 is 200. For an example, if you had 4 less than 12, that would mean 12 take away 4. 12 minus 4. 4 less than 12 is 8. So in our problem, when it says 25 less than 4 times the number, it is going to be the number that is subtracted. I know that 25 is going to be subtracted from some amount. How much? Well, it's going to be subtracted from 4 times a number. So 4 times the number is 4n. 4 times the number. This is 25 less than 4 times the number. And totals is the verb in this sentence. Totals is the same as equals 15. So I've changed my English words to mathematical symbols, but the sentences mean exactly the same thing. When I solve this equation, I'm going to use my good protocol for solving equations, and I'll have 4n minus 25. Since 25 is subtracted, I'm going to want to add 25 to this side of the equation. And I know that whatever I do on the right, I have to do on, whatever I do on the left, I have to do on the right side as well. I've added 25 to both sides of this equation. That leaves 4n equals 40. This means 4 times n is equal to 40, so I want to do division to undo that multiplication. I'll divide both sides by 4, and I get n is equal to 10. When we say 4 times a number, we're meaning 4 times 10, which would be 40, and 25 less than that would be 40 minus 25, which would be 15, which is what we expected to get. When you're doing a word problem, you want to make sure that your words are translated into mathematical symbols. You'll be careful to look for the verb and know that that's where the equal sign goes. If you start your equation out with the sides of your equation being equal, and you're careful to use the operations that we've learned in this chapter, you'll get the correct answer. In this case, n is equal to 10.
If it costs the company to do this kind of construction work $624 for 8 hours per employee to cover the costs for wages, insurance, time off, taxes, etc., and the company charges $880 for 8 hours of work, what does the company earn per hour of work? As you view this video, think how costly it would be if workers prefabricating these I-beams made mistakes in their calculations and the I-beam didn't fit or the holes didn't line up. Let's do the math. I wrote a number word problem on the board using the information from that video that we just saw. But by the way, how would you like to work like that? Walking on those I-beams. I sure wouldn't like to do that. Well, let's solve this word problem here and make an equation with it. 8 times a number, and so that would be 8n. That means 8 times this number, whatever it is, plus, means addition, plus $624, 624, amounts to, this here, amounts to means equal, $880. Remember, we do the addition or subtraction first in the equation. So minus 624, and that will negate that, minus 624, and that equals 652. So 8n equals $256. And now we just divide each side by 8. And that will isolate the n. $256 divided by 8 equals $32. So we find they made the profit of $32 an hour per worker.
Please pause the video now and complete the problems in your workbook. When finished, press play, and we'll continue with the next lesson.